In this chapter, we'll be discussing about SEZ. SEZ stands for Special Economic Zone. Okay, special economic zones are separate areas set up within the country. They are part of the country within some city, say some outskirts, large areas taken, and an SEZ is set up. So SEZs are set up to promote investments, especially foreign investments in India. Okay, see, a factory can be set up anywhere. That's not a problem. You can take permission, appropriate permissions to set up factory. But if you set up in SEZ, there will be some incentives. So what are the incentives that are offered to units in SEZ? Usually, those SEZ investments are to attract foreign investment. So let us see some of the investments: duty-free import, domestic procurement of goods for development, operation, and maintenance of SEZ units, 100% income tax exemption on export income. This is important. This is why it's attractive. 100% income tax exemption on export income for SEZ units. Okay, for first 5 years, 50% for the next 5 years, and 50% of the plowed back export profit for the next 5 years. Then there is an exemption from the minimum alternate tax. Okay, this will discuss on a taxation chapter. There is something called minimum alternate tax that also is exempted for these units. External commercial borrowing by SEZ is up to $500 million without any maturity restriction through recognized banking channels. There will be exemption from central sales tax, service tax. Of course, all these are now subsumed within GST. We'll discuss about GST later. Single window clearance for various approvals, and exemption from state sales tax and other levies. So SEZ developers will also have some incentives. SEZ developers are the people who set up these SEZ. These are not units operating within SEZ. These are the people who develop the facilities for the SEZ, the SEZ itself, who develop the SEZ. So the SEZ developers will have some incentives. So exemption from customs excise duty for development of SEZs, income tax exemption on income derived from the business of development of SEZ in a block of 10 years. Exemption from minimum alternate tax, exemption from dividend distribution tax, and exemption from CST and service tax, which are now subsumed under GST. So SEZs are very important for our economy. In India, we have, as of 2016, 210 SEZs. They provide employment more than 17 lakh people. And the exports in 2015-16, okay, it's more than 4,67,000 crores. And for the first 12 months in the 16-17 year, it's 3,58,000 crores. So the exports from these units are huge. So they're contributing in a big way to the export income to the country. So that's why SEZ are very important. So the questions need to be prepared here are: what is full form of SEZ? Why are SEZ set up? What are some incentives and facilities offered to the units in SEZs, and what are some incentives and facilities available to SEZ developers?